I challenged myself to play indie games for a full month. Usually I don't play too many indie games, I don't skip them completely, but it is pretty rare that I play them consistently, so I was interested to see what new experiences I could find by committing to them for a full month. And oh boy, I went through quite a range of experiences, from addictive, life consuming card games, to fast paced action games, to beautiful, eye candy, trip over log and die type games. Games that ask the question, would a bullet hell Zelda like actually be fun? So yeah, let's jump into these games and see how my month went. Also, I didn't just play these games for 1 or 2 hours. Most of them I got really far into or even finished. And obviously, some of these games you can play for hundreds of hours. Slay the Spire. If you do enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing, it means a lot. I just finished studying and was ready to game for a ridiculous amount of time, but tragedy struck, or lightning, because my TV stopped working after a hectic storm, and I had forgotten to unplug it before going to my self-defense classes. Alas, my gaming plans were ruined and Henry of Skalitz was on hold. I tried streaming my Xbox to my laptop. It kind of worked, if I didn't have super duper South African internet. My 10 megabyte line simply couldn't handle it. I wasn't happy. I was actually pretty sad. Luckily, my girlfriend's sister let us use her old TV. It's basically been passed down like a relic through the siblings. I'm pretty sure their brother used to play on his Xbox 360 using it. Anyways, I had a TV again, although it was only 720p. So I decided because it had a lower resolution, I'd play indie games. Just until I got a new TV. Now that we have the lore behind this video, let's start with the first game. I started off my challenge with Slay the Spire. I heard a lot of good things about the game, mainly that it is really addictive, some even saying that as a warning. I'm not really a big card game type of dude. The only one I really got properly into was Gwent in The Witcher 3, and yes, I did the entire Gwent questline, including the one in Blood and Wine. But I was ready to try something outside of my comfort zone. It starts off slow, mostly learning card abilities, and it's actually pretty simple at first, which was nice. The real depth comes from the card synergies. If you think something might work, there's a good chance it will, and that's what really hooked me. Even discovering basic synergies made me feel like some kind of self-appointed genius or a medieval village intellectual. I also liked the random encounters, which were funny and at times just cruel. Either way, it could change the outcome of a run. I also did like the enemy types. Once you get into a rhythm, it's hard to stop. You just want to go for one more run. And I definitely stayed up way too late a few nights. I'm not even that good at the game either. I've made it to the final boss, but I haven't beaten it yet. I will definitely keep playing. I just really hope the second game comes to console. Overall, it's a really fun game. It rewards creativity and it has a lot of heart. It's also perfect for work breaks, easy to pick up and put down. I also had a question for you guys. Are there any card games you enjoy? I'd love to hear about them and I'll definitely go check them out. Overall, I walked away pretty satisfied with this great find and a terrible sleep cycle. The next game was one I honestly thought I wouldn't like, but I saw IGN praising it with a 9. They probably deducted a point because there was too much flying in a spaceship game. It was also on Game Pass, and honestly, all these games were. It's just super convenient to try an indie game on Game Pass, and the price of Game Pass has also dropped now, which is nice. Or what do you guys think? Do you think it's still too expensive? After I downloaded it, it really surprised me. You play as a small spaceship and take on 4 major bosses in a twin-stick bullet hell, and it feels incredibly smooth and responsive. It has the Legend of Zelda style exploration, so it's packed with puzzles, upgrades, dungeons, bosses, mini-bosses, and even rescuing friendly ships. Exploring this world was just a joy. You find upgrades, helpful items, power-ups like time slow or burst clears, and as you unlock more abilities, you push further, more paths and secrets open up, and areas you have explored might be worth revisiting, and everything feels really well balanced. Not too easy, not too hard, just right. The bosses, though, they're tough. My hands were sweating. I mean, look at all these bullets. It felt like dodging taxis in South Africa during rush hour. It's short, focused, and doesn't overstay its welcome, clocking in around 7 or 8 hours to finish. a great little game. Now, this is the game that I probably played the most. I have played Hades 1, but I don't think I finished it. I got distracted by Starfield of all games, and that was a mistake. I even took time off of work for that game, and I only get paid if I work. I lost money and faith in Bethesda. Let's move on. Anyway, Hades 2. I went in with a lot of hype, and it absolutely delivered. The combat is fast, smooth, responsive, and incredibly satisfying. It's really just so much fun. Once you get into a run, everything just clicks. Dashing, chaining attacks, using abilities. It flows like water. The story is surprisingly strong for a roguelike. There's a huge amount of dialogue, and even during like boss fights, the boss will actually react to what you're doing. Like the one time I think I picked up a flower and the boss actually reacted to that, and that's a crazy amount of detail and effort. And this goes basically for everything in the game, so big hats off to the devs. Your goal is to push through multiple levels, defeat bosses, and eventually face the main antagonist, Kronos. And each level feels distinct, with different enemies and interactions, and for the most part, no run feels the same. I know every roguelike claims this, but with Hades it especially tracks. The weapons or the nocturnal arms are awesome. I really like the axe, torches, and skulls, and they can all be upgraded. There is a ton of content here. You also gather resources, upgrade your hub through incantations because of course you are a witch. You build relationships, unlock keepsakes, which are just more like benefits, like basically relics that you can take with you. One of them can make you come back from the dead. And it kind of reminds me a bit of how relationships work in Persona, if you have ever played a Persona game. The gods give you boons that can completely change your run. I mean, man, you can have some crazy builds, like if you choose the Zeus boons, for example. There's just so much going on. I've beaten Kronos 3 times and I still haven't finished everything. There's still more bosses, more paths, more content. Dude, I didn't even tell you, you can go to Mount Olympus and fight different enemies with different bosses in different locations, and I mean they even have ghost ships. I've said enough. I've put about 35 hours into it so far, and I could easily put in a ton more. I should probably move on before this video becomes a full Hades 2 video. I'd seen Video Game Donkey play this, so I did recognize it when I saw it on Game Pass, and I went in thinking that it would just be a score-based challenge game, and it is, but I didn't expect to enjoy the story as much as I did. It's all text-based narration, no cutscenes, but it works really well, and I wanted to see what happens next. Gameplay is just fast. It's freaking slick, slickety slick. You're chaining kills, throwing weapons, and improvising kills, and basically just going full on John Wick. And when it clicks, it really clicks. And when it doesn't click, you don't show that gameplay in your YouTube video. The soundtrack is also a banger. It fits the pace perfectly, especially that last track. It's short, about 4 to 5 hours long. There are also like challenges and things that you can do as well. So you can also replay missions to try and get a higher score, like if you want to go for S rank. I'm just pretty okay at the game. I think I just basically got A ranks, and a few of the missions I went for S ranks because you had to not level up, but get the next mission or unlock the next bunch of missions. But I really like the length of the game. Not every game needs to be a massive time sink, forcing you to keep coming back and hopefully getting you to give up some of your hard-earned money. Some games just respect your time, and I appreciate that. I'm not saying or going against long games, I just prefer long games that end and you can say, well, this was an amazing journey worth my money. Something like Kingdom Come Deliverance or The Witcher 3. The next game was Mullet Mad Jack, which is a fast-paced first-person shooter with roguelike elements. It's also heavily inspired by 80s and 90s anime, and it has like a cyberpunk aesthetic. The player controls a moderator named Jack who ascends a skyscraper to rescue an influencer princess from robot billionaires, which is about as crazy as it gets. The game is fast, no exaggeration. You have 10 seconds to live and you extend it by killing enemies. There are a lot of ways to kill enemies, and there are even some cool finishes. Each floor takes under a minute more or less, and every 10 floors you get an awesome little boss fight. Between floors you get to upgrade yourself. You get useful upgrades like an extra second on your life, or more one-liners, which obviously is a very important upgrade. The cutscenes are also just super. I mean, when they came up, I was just grinning ear to ear. It's flashy and honestly looks insane. Like your brain is running at max speed and risking a seizure. But really, I'm just spamming kick, dash, and shoot. It's super fun and another short but memorable experience. I then tried a new game on Game Pass. It's called Replaced, and this is probably one of the most visually stunning games on this list, if not just one of the most stunning indie games that I've ever played. It's a 2.5D cinematic platformer set in a dystopian 1980s. You play as an AI, it's called Reach, who's stuck in a human body navigating a corrupt world. The story is interesting so far, I haven't finished it yet. I like how your character Reach interacts with other humans and kind of has to deal with being human itself. The only thing for me is the platforming can feel a bit off at times. It's also funny you can trip over things like logs, which usually end up in you dying instantly. And I don't know, it just kind of feels like the platforming isn't as responsive as it should be. So yeah, I got a little bit annoyed in certain parts of it. I also ran into a glitch or two, but nothing great, game breaking. Combat is solid though. I mean, it's very Arkham style or like Mad Max, if you know that type of combat style. It's a lot like that with dodges, parries, and some really well-made cinematic finishes. It's also quite a gory game. It does a great job at making you look like an absolute unit. Often you are heavily outnumbered and you take out your enemies with some style. There are also some fun puzzles and upgrades you can find if you explore or do side missions. I'm not done yet, but I do like what I have played, and maybe in the future I'll make a video on it. This game is just really addictive, which is bad for my health because I already have Slay the Spire, which is a life-stealing game in on its own. I think these are just two drugs that are disguised as games. Vampire Crawlers is at least simple to understand, but that does not mean it's shallow. I'd actually say it's pretty deep. You progress through stages, level up, evolve cards, and push further, as well as fighting bosses, all while managing your mana. There's even like an autoplay feature, which is, pretty wild. Just kidding, I don't know where the wild comes into their title, but anyway, you need a lot of faith in your cards because it looks flashy and awesome until the game ends with a game over screen. Also, I didn't know how to use combos until very late on. It's embarrassing to admit. But a lot of my enjoyment of these games comes from finding what works by myself. I try to stay away from beginner's guides and tips and tricks so that I don't taint that rewarding feeling of discovery. Like when a synergy from Slay the Spire works or I'm demolishing vampire hordes, it's because I figured it out and it's even okay if I did it by accident. That's just the way I feel about it. So it was just very rewarding learning about something as basic as the combo system. I'm just kidding. There was nothing rewarding about it. I don't know how I didn't see this. It's rewarding when you find a synergy or something cool, but just a mechanic like this, I don't know how I missed it. So yeah. Some builds do make you feel like some overpowered vampires, Slayer Van Helsing, and the power fantasy definitely is yeah. It's great until you mess up and start again, but even then you upgrade, you become stronger, and you push further, rinse, repeat. 300 hours are kind of taken off of your life. Also, there is like a hub area, which is a village where you can upgrade yourself, unlock characters, and the characters do actually feel quite distinct and they change how you play. Honestly, I would recommend this to more casual gamers too, like my girlfriend. I recommended Vampire Survivors to her and she really enjoyed it, and I feel like this is another one of those games that a casual gamer can get into really easily as well. And it's super cheap. So yeah, I thought I'd get bored. I knew I chose some good games, I knew that for sure, but I didn't expect that I'd be able to go a whole month just playing indie games, but I didn't get bored. Each game gave me a completely different experience. It was a nice break from playing one massive game like KC2, which I do love, but it's a commitment. It's a game full of deep mechanics, and when I'm away for too long, it takes me a while to relearn everything. I'll be going back and just spamming Master Strike. This TV issue also pushed me into genres of games I probably wouldn't have tried otherwise, and honestly, I'm glad my TV broke. Well, I didn't mean to say that. What I mean to say is that something positive came out of something negative. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If this video gets, let's say, 20 likes or 25 likes, I might consider doing another I played indie games for a month. Let me know what your favorite indie games are and we can have a chat in the comments. I appreciate you guys a lot and I'll see you guys in the next one.